When you think of professional audio equipment, you usually picture these massive, like glowing racks of gear, right? Sort of like a spaceship control room. You can practically feel the heat radiating off them.
Right, yeah. And there's always that constant annoying hum of cooling fans in the background. The traditional expectation is just that big sound needs a big, noisy footprint.
Exactly. But today we're looking at something that completely flips that script. Welcome to today's deep dive. We've got our hands on a spec sheet from HDTVSupply for the QSC SPA2-60 two-channel ENERGY STAR Amplifier.
Yeah, which retails for about $795.
Right. And our mission today is to really decode the jargon of this specific piece of gear. We want to understand why it represents such a, fascinating intersection of high-powered audio flexibility and eco-conscious engineering.
Absolutely.
And we are going to do it without burying you in technical specs.
Exactly, because it's really about looking past the raw numbers to see how this technology actually changes a physical space.
So let's look at what this thing can actually do. On paper, it delivers 60 watts per channel, pushing dynamically up to 200 watts. But it features this thing called bridgeable outputs.
Yeah, meaning it can actually combine its power channels to push 200 to 250 watts for heavier 70-volt or 100-volt loads.
Okay, let's unpack this. Think of it like a flexible car engine. You have an engine that easily handles your standard daily commute. That's your standard stereo channel.
Right, just cruising along.
Yeah. But then, when you suddenly need to tow a heavy trailer up a hill, the system just reconfigures itself to deliver the exact heavy-duty torque you need.
I love that. And sticking with that car engine analogy, bridging those outputs is like taking a standard two-lane highway and suddenly merging it into one giant high-speed super lane just to handle a massive load.
Yeah, exactly.
What's fascinating here is how that bridgeable design translates to the real world. In audio terms, it makes the amp incredibly versatile for both low Z and high Z setups.
Which, just to clarify for everyone listening, means what exactly in practice?
Well, high Z is what you use when you need to push sound over massive distances, like a chain of ceiling speakers across an entire office building.
All right.
Low Z, on the other hand, is for your standard, punchy conference room speakers. In the past, you'd have to buy completely different amplifiers for those different types of systems. Now, this one device just adapts to whatever load you plug into it.
It's basically a chameleon.
Yeah.
But wait, if we're taking two channels and combining them to push over 200 watts, basic physics says that should generate a massive amount of heat. How is this little box not melting?
Well, that comes down to its internal design. The SPA2-60 utilizes a Class D amplifier, unlike older amps that act like a dimmer switch and constantly bleed energy as heat.
Which is why they get so hot.
Right. But a Class D amp acts like a rapid-fire on-off switch. It only draws power exactly when it needs it, which is why it stays so incredibly cool.
Ah, so that's why it's ENERGY STAR qualified.
Precisely. And because it's so highly efficient, it can be entirely convection-cooled. It relies on the natural rise of hot air to pull cool air through the chassis. No spinning parts.
Wait, really? Which means no noisy cooling fans. It operates in total silence.
Total silence. And because it doesn't need all that bulky cooling hardware, it's tiny. It's housed in a half-rack unit chassis. To put that in perspective, you can easily mount it directly under a table or just hide it on a wall using its joining brackets.
That's incredibly convenient. But it also features this auto ramp circuitry. The spec sheet says after 28 minutes of inactivity, it automatically goes to sleep to conserve energy.
Right.
I have to push back on that power down feature, though. If it goes to sleep after 28 minutes of quiet, doesn't that mean you're going to miss the first few seconds of audio when somebody finally speaks into a mic or hits play? It has to wake up, right?
I know it sounds risky, but the auto ramp circuit acts like a tripwire. It is designed specifically for an incredibly fast power-up from standby.
Okay, how fast?
The absolute microsecond it detects voltage from an audio signal, it opens the gate. It's so fast that human ears literally cannot detect a clipped syllable.
Oh, wow. So it instantly triggers, saving on operational costs and lowering your electric bill, but you never sacrifice the user experience by chopping off the start of the sound.
Exactly. You're doing more with less and doing it intelligently.
So why does all of this matter to you? It shows us that modern audio equipment is no longer just about raw volume or those massive glowing racks of gear.
Yeah, it's about invisible, silent, and smart integration into your physical space. It allows the technology to completely get out of the way.
Which leaves us with a final thought to mull over today. If a powerful amplifier can now fit neatly under a conference table, run without any fans, and manage its own power consumption entirely.
Automatically.
Right, automatically.
Hmm.
Are we approaching an era where our AV technology becomes completely invisible in our daily lives? We started today by picturing that hot, noisy spaceship control room. What happens to how we interact with sound when the control room entirely disappears?